Hello everyone. Today we're going to learn about the Python basic concepts, which is the inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, and encapsulation. So let's begin or let's discuss about this. The tutorial of this discussion, the purpose of this tutorial is to explain key object-oriented program concepts in Python through practical examples. We'll cover the basics such as classes, objects, inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation, providing code snippets and real-world scenarios to illustrate each concept. By the end, you will understand how to effectively use OOP principles to write, organize, reusable, and efficient Python code. The first one is inheritance. Inheritance in object-oriented programming is a mechanism to create new class known as the derived or the child class using the details of an existing class referred to as the base or parent class without modifying the original class. This allows the child class to inherit attributes and methods from the parent class, enabling code reuse and the creation of a hierarchical relationship between classes. So this is the base parent class. The base class is the original class from which properties and methods are inherited. It contains common attributes and behaviors that can be shared with the derived classes. Next one is the derived or the child class. The derived class is the new class that inherits properties and methods from the base class. It can also have additional attributes and methods or override existing ones to extend or customize functionality. We're gonna use the inheritance. So this is the code of the inheritance, which is we're gonna use the class animal, then the definition and init, and we're gonna run the Python file. So as you can see, the body says wolf and whiskers say meow. That's the inheritance. In the example that just presented, animal is the base class with an initializer, which is the double underscore init method, and a speak method intended to be overridden. Dog and the cat are derived classes that inherit from animal. They can each override the speak method to provide specific implementations. By using inheritance, we can define common functionality in the base class, which is the animal, and customize or extend it in the derived class, which is the dog and the cat, promoting code reuse and reducing redundancy. So the next basic concept in Python programming is polymorphism. Polymorphism in object-oriented programming is the ability to present the same interface for different underlying forms such as data types. This means that a single function or method can be operated on different styles of objects, allowing for flexibility and integration of various types in a consistent manner. Polymorphism enhances the ability to extend and maintain code by allowing objects of different classes to be treated as objects of a common superclass. Polymorphism can be demonstrated through method overriding, where different classes implemented the same method in ways that are appropriate for the class, and through method overloading, where a method can be handled different types of view inputs. So here the example of the polymorphism. As you can see, we're adding a code from the inheritance that we use. So let me show you the run of this code. So as you can see, the output of the program is the wolf or of the dog, the animal sound, the meow is the cat, and the bird is tweet. In that example, the animal class defines a method speak which is intended to be overridden by subclasses. The dog, cat, and bird are the subclasses of animal, each providing its own implementations of the speak method. The function animal underscore sound takes an animal object and calls its speak method, demonstrating morphism by accepting any animal subtype and invoking the correct method implementation based on the object's actual class. This way, polymorphism allows the same interface to reuse for different underlying forms, as we can see the dog, cat, and bird of the animal sound, providing flexibility, enabling code that is easier to extend and maintain. The next one is of the Python programming concept. The basics is encapsulation. The encapsulation is the practice of restricting access to certain components of an object to protect the integrity and hide the internal state and implementation details. This is achieved by making some attributes and methods private or protected, controlling how they can be accessed or modified. Here's some access modifiers in Python. First, we have private members indicated by a double underscore prefix. These members cannot be accessed directly outside the class. Number two is the protected members indicated by a single underscore prefix. These members can be accessed within the class and its subclasses, but it is a convention to treat them as a non-public. The example in the encapsulation is this. We're gonna use a bank to example this. So we use the definition deposit and withdrawal. So this code snippet is two types of members, which is the private and the non-public. I just say. So we're gonna run this Python code. So here it is. As you can see, the balance, the amount of the money in the bank account is decreased by 300 pesos, which means they have deposit and withdraw the money. So it is. So the example I had just presented, the double underscore account single underscore number is a private attribute, meaning it cannot be accessed directly from outside the class. This ensures the account number cannot be modified directly. Number two is the balance is a protected attribute, meaning it is intended to be accessed within the class and its subclasses, but it should not be accessed directly from outside the class. The methods deposit, withdraw, and get balance provide controlled ways to interact with the account's balance, enforcing rules and validations. Encapsulation helps maintain the integrity of an object's data by preventing unauthorized access and modifications, thus enhancing the robustness and maintainability of the code. Next Python basic concepts is abstraction. Abstraction is the concept of hiding the complex implementation details of an object and exposing only the necessary features and functionalities. This simplifies the interaction with objects by providing a clear and simplified interface, allowing users to focus on what the object does rather than how it does it. This is the key aspects of abstraction. Number one, the simplified interface. Users interact with the object through a simplified interface that exposes only the essential features. Number two, hiding complexity. The internal workings and complex implementation details are hidden from the user, reducing complexity. Number three, improve usability by focusing on what an object does rather than how it does it. Abstraction enhance usability and reliability. So this is an example of abstract method. So we import the ABC. So the class vehicles, I should say, gonna use def start engine, open close parenthesis itself, and under it is class. Then the concrete class, the class car vehicle starts the engine and outputs the car engine started and car engine stopped. Then the what? Then you're gonna print it, the car start engine, car stop engine, and as well as the motorcycle. So we're gonna run this Python code and see what it has. So this output is, as you can see, the car engine started and stopped, and motorcycle engine started and stopped. So back to the slide. In this example I had just presented, vehicle is an abstract-based class that defines abstract method, such as the start engine and the stop engine. These class methods do not have implementations, forcing subclasses to provide in concrete implementations. The car and the motorcycle are concrete classes that inherit from vehicle and provide specific implementations for start engine and stop engine. The abstract class provides a simplified interface for starting and stopping the engine, hiding the internal complexities of how these actions are performed. By using abstraction, the user can interact with the car and motorcycle objects through a simple interface, which is the start engine and the stop engine, without needing to understand the complex details how these methods work internally. This makes the code easier to use and understand. So next is the using the four concepts in real life scenarios. A scenario in the building, simple e-commerce system, we can incorporate object-oriented programming principles effectively to organize and manage the system components. Let's break down how we can implement the provided scenario using inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction. First is the inheritance, the base class product. This class will contain common attributes and methods shared by all products. Next is and number two is the derived class book and electronics. These classes will inherit from product and add specific attributes and methods unique to each product type. Next is the morphism. The method get price. This method will be defined differently for book and electronics to calculate prices based on their respective properties and possibly any discounts or promotions. Next is the encapsulation. Private attributes for product details. We'll use private attributes to encapsulate the details of each product, such as title, author, ISBN for books, and brand, model, and specifications for electronics. This ensures these details are not directly accessible from outside the class, maintaining data integrity and security. Lastly, the abstraction. Abstraction-based class payment method. This class will define a common interface for various payment methods, such as credit card or PayPal, or GCash or Paymaya. It may include abstract methods such as process payment and refund payment, which must be implemented by concrete payment method classes. So I'm gonna show you these real life scenarios and EARCOM. So we use from ABC, import ABC abstract method. The parent class is the product and the child class is the book. The encapsulation is the book and electronics. So the abstraction is the payment method. Then we're gonna run this code and see what we, as you can see, the price, of the book, The Great Gatsby is $15, 15.99 cents. And the price of the Dell laptop is almost $1,000. As you can see, that's the real life scenarios. So, what are the tips and the best practices of using Python basic concepts? Let's start with the best practices. Number one, use inheritance judiciously. Prefer composition over inheritance. While inheritance can be useful for sharing common functionality, it can also lead to tight coupling and hierarchy complexities. Prefer composition where objects are composed of other objects, promoting flexibility and easier maintenance. Number two is ensure polymorphic methods are logically consistent. Polymorphic methods should be adhere to the Liskov substitution principle or LSP, meaning derived classes should be substitutable for their base class without altering. The derived classes should be sustainable for their base class without altering the correctness of the program. This ensures polymorphism, enhances code flexibility and consistency. Encapsulate data to protect object integrity. Encapsulation ensures that the internal state of an object is protected and accessed only through well-defined interfaces. By encapsulating data, you maintain control over how data is modified and ensure the integrity of object. Number 4, use abstraction to simplify complex systems and enhance code maintainability. While the inheritance can be useful for sharing common functionality, it can also lead to tight cookie maintenance. Next, tips for Python basic. Keep your classes and methods focused and single purpose. Aim for classes methods that have a clear responsibility to do one thing well. This improves code reliability, testability, and reusability. Number 2, document your classes and methods for better readability and maintenance. Use comments and docstrings to provide clear documentation for your code, as you can see up the example I just showed you in early slides. Documenting classes and methods helps other developers understand their purpose, usage, and expected behavior. Regularity refactor code to maintain clean architecture and design. Factoring involves restructuring existing code without changing its internal behavior. Regularly review and refactor your code to improve its design, eliminate redundancy, and adhere to best practices. This ensures that your code base remains clean, maintainable, and scalable over time. The conclusions next. It's the conclusion of our topic. As a general meal, you might not think that programmers are artists, but programming is an extremely creative profession. It's logic-based creativity. So that's all. Thank you and God bless.